When you were a kid, did you ever hear this? Go to school already. Get good grades so you can get a job that is safe and pays well. I'm willing to bet that 95% of you were taught that this is the way to make money. I'm sure I was. And this way it might be the best for some people, but it's not the best for everyone. Robert Kiyosaki explains in Rich Dad's Cashflow Quadrant that there are 4 ways to get rich, but some are better than others. Takeaway 1. The Cashflow Quadrant. The Cashflow Quadrant is a simple model that shows how money can come from 4 places. Where most of your money comes from determines which quadrant you are in. The 4 different quadrants are E, the employee, the person who owns a small business or self-employed, B is the owner of a big business, and I, an investor. The employee wants to feel safe. He gets ahead financially by moving up the corporate ladder, and you might hear him say something like, I want a safe job with nice coworkers and good benefits. On the other hand, the small business owner or self-employed person wants to be in charge. He achieves financial success by becoming highly specialized in a demanding field, and you might find him say something like, I'm looking for a job where I can be compensated well for my skills and time where I am in charge. The owner of a big business wants to be free. He gets rich by making a business system that makes money, and you might hear him say something like, I'm looking for people smarter than me to run my business for me. The investor also wants to be free, but he does this by putting his money where it will make the most money. He might say something like, I'm looking for a place where my money can make me the most money. Takeaway 2. OPM and OP. The biggest difference between the left side and right side of the cash flow quadrant is OPT and OPM. Other people's time is written as OPT, and other people's money is written as OPM. A person from the B quadrant uses OPT and OPM to design a business system that lets him hire people from the E and his quadrants and pay them with money from the I quadrant. Usually, he also puts in a lot of his own time to get the business off the ground. However, this is not necessary in the long run, and he can become a more passive owner of the business. A person in the I quadrant uses OPT to make money with just his money. And if he's skilled enough, he can typically apply other people's money as well as his own money to scale his investment profits. The big difference is right here. E and his quadrant people never get to use OPT or OPM. So the better they do in their quadrants, the more money they make, but at the same time, they have more work to do. Takeaway 3. Think about the pros and cons of each quadrant. E, the employee. Pros, less worry about money, paid time off, health insurance, and other benefits, and good coworkers. Cons. Being successful means more work and less free time. Often your performance is better than what you get paid, if you are not a slacker, that is. S. The person who owns a small business or self-employed. Pros. You are in charge of yourself. You get paid based on how well you do. Cons. Being successful means more work and less free time. And there's a chance you'll lose money if you do this. B. The owner of a big business. Pros. OPT and OPM are good. It doesn't take long to get out of debt. And more of the money you make goes to you. In other words, you pay less tax. Cons. Financial uncertainty. You might lose money. It takes different skills than what you learn in school. You'll also have to lead people. I, an investor. Pros. OPT and OPM are good. It doesn't take long to get out of debt. You get a bigger share of your profits, which means you pay less tax. You can also do nothing. Cons. Uncertainty about money, you might lose money. Takeaway number 4, breaking the addiction, moving to the right side. So all 4 quadrants have their pros and cons, but the right side is where you can get to financial freedom the fastest. So we might wonder, how can we move to this side? Money can get you hooked, just like sex or drugs. So if you make money in a certain quadrant, you'll become hooked on that quadrant. If you earn money as an employee for a large company, for instance, your brain will associate that type of work with a cash reward. Because of this, it is harder to move from one quadrant to another. Also, if you grew up in a family that put a lot of value on degrees, job security, paid vacations, and government pensions, you might find it hard to make the change. Here are some possible mental roadblocks to the change. Arg, you take too many chances. You might fail. Anyway, money can't buy happiness. As if this wasn't enough, our educational system is built so that it rewards those who make the least number of mistakes and punishes those who make the most. In the B and I quadrants, you must do the exact opposite of what you normally do. People who do things will also make the most mistakes, but in the long run, they will learn more and achieve more as business owners or investors. People said that Thomas Edison made 1,014 mistakes before making the first electric light bulb. He answered, "I didn't fail 10-14 times. 10-14 times, I was able to figure out what didn't work." The change won't be easy, but a good way to start is to hang out with people who have already made the journey and learn from those who are doing well in the B and I quadrants. Takeaway 5. The 5 different levels of investors. Robert Kiyosaki says that there are 5 different levels of investors. 1. The zero financial intelligence level. At this level, we have people who don't have any money to invest. Every month, they spend more than they earn. This is often because they forget to pay themselves first, which is the most basic way to build wealth, as taught in the classic book, The Richest Man in Babylon. 2. The level of savers or losers. Putting your hard-earned money under a mattress or in a low-interest bank account will put you in the top 50% of people financially. But that doesn't mean it's a good plan for your own money. Why? Because of rising prices. 3. The level of I'm too busy. A lot of people don't have time to invest because they are too busy with work, family, friends, and vacations. So they give someone else their money to do it for them. The problem with this is that a person who does this will never learn how to invest. 4. The level of I'm a professional. This is the DI investor. He makes his own decisions and spends his own money. He is learning more about the topic, but he hasn't reached the last level yet. I thought that if you were watching this channel, you were already at this level or higher, or wanted to get there. 5. The level of a capitalist. This investor comes from the B quadrant and has learned how to use the ideas from there in his investing. For instance, he is not the only one who invests. He has advisors that help him gather information about the markets, and in that, using OPT. Furthermore, he uses OPM as well as his own money. He has also learned how to lower the taxes on his capital gains by using corporations. The Level 5 investor will be the first of all investors to reach financial independence. How advanced are you as an investor? Here's a quick review. There are 4 ways to make money and be successful. You may succeed as the employee, the self-employed, the business owner, and/or the investor. The OP and OPM are used on the right side of the cash flow quadrant. Each quadrant has pros and cons, and depending on your personality and life goals, one might be better for you than the others. If you want to move to the B and I quadrants, you have to learn to take risks, make mistakes, and hang out with people who have already done what you want to do. There are 5 levels of investors, and the Level 5 investor, who has learned how to use business ideas in his investing strategy, makes the most money. Thanks to everyone who watched. See you again soon.